Guys, we're back for another exciting episode of the Hashtag Wednesday Match Play, and tonight's going to be awesome because, one, I didn't even realize who tonight's guest was we were talking on social media earlier this week, and she is super active on Instagram and Twitter, and we'll talk about that. But we're also going to talk about the big break, and we're going to talk about events. Like, this lady is so connected and does so much with event planning. Like, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, and one of the things that I neglected to ask before we went live is I don't have any idea how to pronounce your last name, and I'm not even going to begin to try because I'm horrible with names. So nope. I'm going to introduce Christina
Lecuyer.
That's what I was, and I would have gotten it right. Oh my God, that's so funny. Well, yeah. We're going to talk about where she's from and where she is now because there's a little confusion that she's either from Canada or from the United States, but we'll talk about that. But real quick, like, you do a lot. Like, you got a lot of stuff going on. So just give us an elevator pitch of who you are, what you're doing, and what's some of your current things that you're working on. And the big break is a part of this, and that's where this got you to the Hashtag Wednesday Match Play. But just, you're doing more than that. So give us the breakdown.
Yeah, basically, after college, I started playing professionally for a few years. I played for like 3 years, went to final stage 3 years in a row, but figured out real fast I wasn't good enough. And during that time, I was on the big break, not only once, but twice. And I did pretty good and gotten enough scuffles that I got invited back twice and people remembered my name. So it started out kind of very simple, like someone here locally in Arkansas where I live now, but not where I'm from, called me and said, I'll give you like $500 to come out and hang out with our guests and hit shots. And at the time, I was like, yeah, that's amazing. When you're, a struggling golf professional and you're trying to like sleep in your car and stay at people's homes, $500 was a lot. And when I transitioned from trying to play, I thought, what am I going to do with myself? And all of a sudden, more people started calling, and the $500 added the zero or two, and I started kind of showing up to corporate and charity golf events, and I've done pretty well for myself. I did over 40 events last year across North America, and it's a lot of fun. I'm so lucky that I may not be the best golfer in the world. I may not be the most attractive golfer in the world. And I may not be the best salesperson, but all three of them I'm pretty good at. And it's worked out really well. I'm so fortunate that people want me to come out and hang out. I've been doing this for I think 10 years now. I graduated in 2007 from Central Arkansas. And I guess it's 2017. I just did an event on Monday and they said, Christina's been with us for 9 years. And I just thought to myself, I was like, there's no way I'm that old, but apparently I am. But it's a lot of fun. I've probably raised, people say it's probably close to, $500,000 to, $750,000 over the last 10 years at least. It's probably more than that out of all the events that I do. I do children's charities. I do corporate events where I'll go play with clients. It's a lot of fun. And then I also do, I co-hosted a show on Fox Sports called The Swing Clinic. I've done that. Obviously, I've done the big break. I do local sports radio, which is a lot of fun here in Arkansas. Talk everything. Mostly Arkansas Razorbacks is what they want to talk. And then I also sit on a state board. It's called the Natural State Golf Trail. So I do a whole bunch of things actually.
So you're never bored is what you're saying. And I'm curious, like Arkansas, like why aren't you in like a Scottsdale or Florida? Like there's a lot of golf specific places like.
Do you know what though? Arkansas is absolutely stunning. I didn't even know where it was on the map when I came. I promise. No idea. I'm about 4 hours from Dallas and about 2 hours from Memphis, kind of right in the middle. It's actually, Arkansas is called the Natural State, and I sit on the board and the Natural State Golf Trail. We have 12 courses across the state, and it's actually pretty phenomenal, the golf courses that we have here. I actually live on the 18th tee of our country club. Small town, only about 70,000 people, but Little Rock's a couple 100,000, and it's only 30 minutes from here. But Arkansas is beautiful, and it's the perfect place to live. I'm one stop pretty much from anywhere in the world, and I love it here. I've been here since 2002, I think, so 15 years, and I'm not going anywhere, but I do travel a lot.
That's awesome. So now Eat Sleep Golf is the presenting sponsor of the Hashtag Wednesday Match Play, and I'm excited because tonight they asked so many questions. I didn't even have to look you up because I got 2 pages of questions. I'm kidding. I have a few of my own, but one of the first things that they asked is, do you still play competitive golf?
I do every once in a while. Last summer, every summer I typically play, 2 to 3 events. just to kind of keep the competitive juices going. I love playing a money match. I mean, I'll flip a coin. I'm that competitive. I'll just play for anything. I'll flip a coin for money, but I did play a tournament last summer. I played the Texas Open. I took 1 year off, and last year I went in, and sure enough, I think I shot like 65 or 66 the first day in clubhouse leader. I was like, what happened? Second day, I'm still leading by 1. Last day, I'm standing on the first tee, and I'm looking like I'm fine, but inside I'm just goo. I forgot like the whole mentality of playing competitive golf. But I think I'll be more prepared for it this year. I usually play like 3 events, mostly just because of the people that I met and the housing that I stayed with when I went to those tournaments. So I play Tennessee, Texas, Colorado, great people, and I go for the competitiveness of it. And it's nice to know that I can still compete and throw down a low score, but then obviously the last day last year I ended up getting beat, kind of had a bit of a meltdown on the first few holes because I was so nervous. But I think this year when I get back in that situation, I'll be much more prepared for it.
I shot 65 once, but then I played the last 3 holes. Let's talk about your overall experience with the Big Break. Like, that's really cool. Like, I mean, I actually don't have cable TV at home, but I mean, you can't ignore what that show is and has been over the years. So talk a little bit about that and what that experience was like for you.
Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. So the first time I did Big Break, I had no idea what the show was. A girlfriend of mine in college, I was practicing at a course in Phoenix when I was playing the Cactus Tour out there, and they were auditioning for it. And I auditioned. They asked you to hit a couple shots, answer a few questions. I never thought anything of it. I remember specifically, I was out on the first tee at the country club that I live on now, and I remember looking at my phone and getting a call, and it was my birthday in October, and I had done the audition maybe in like July, and I thought, who the heck is this? And they said that I had got it, and I actually, the first time I flew, I played Q School. I missed my card by 2 strokes that year. It was my very first attempt at final stage. I missed my card and I flew to Hawaii the very next day. So needless to say, it was I probably have maybe gray hair under there from that, a month experience of 2 weeks at Q School and then 2 weeks at the Big Break. But the first time I think I was a little naive to it. I didn't really realize that it is very much a reality show. I'm an extremely competitive person, and if you watch the show, you can be able to tell that. I think that they thought I was just some blonde coming in there that didn't really know what she was doing, just because I just turned professional. But I learned a lot on the first show, and I obviously made a name because I got invited back for the second one, where I ended up winning, making the winning putt for the ladies team, and the women beat the men in Dominican Republic. I can have nothing but amazing things to say for the Golf Channel. They do a fantastic job with that, and I'm sad to know that it's no longer on the air.
Well, you need to come back for like a 3-peat.
I would love that. They were doing like this Big Break invitational thing, and unfortunately they ended it shortly after, and I would have loved to have come back.
So the guys from Eat Sleep Golf will dig this. You like hockey, and I've heard Scott tell me like he's going to hockey games. I don't know hockey. I've been to a hockey game, actually. I went to one recently. Some guys in our office are season ticket holders to a team here in Florida, but golf's the only thing that I follow. So hockey, like, what's that about?
So my dad and my uncle both played NHL a little bit. My uncle played full-time in the NHL. My dad played AAA, which is like a step right below it. Both great players. Grew up watching hockey and golf. That's the only thing I ever knew. Even though I didn't start playing golf until I was 18, I was around it since I was like, before I could speak. But I was actually one of the youngest season ticket holders ever for the Edmonton Oilers when I lived in Edmonton. That's where I grew up. That's where I was born. I moved to the States and became a citizen just actually 2 years ago. But I love hockey. And Edmonton is in Game 7 tonight. And I am typically a bit of a nerd. I go to bed super early, like 9 o'clock, and the game doesn't start till 9. So I feel like I need to have a nap after this and then watch the game so I can stay up till midnight because I get up so early. But I'm so excited. Game 7 tonight versus Anaheim. It's in Anaheim. If Edmonton wins, they play Nashville. And I'm only 4 hours from Nashville. I will be at both games next week.
That's awesome. So what's the biggest surprise from the Big Break? Was there anything that just shocked you about that experience?
How much of a reality show it was, how catty you know, the women could be, and how the drama plays so much into it. But I also feel like it was one of the best experiences for me in the fact that nothing can put you in that. It feels like it's the end of the world if you don't make the shot. You're in this bubble, and it feels like the world's going to come to a complete end if you don't make that shot. And being under that pressure has helped a lot. And I learned a lot, so much from it. I think it was detrimental in some ways, but it was so beneficial in other ways. And the experience and the exposure I got from that, I wish I would have done better with the social media when social media was first coming out. I didn't really capitalize on that. The more I know about it now, I wish I would have capitalized on it a little bit earlier. There's a couple girls on the show that I was with, and they did a great job with that to promote themselves. But yeah, Golf Channel does a great job. And I mean, I got two awesome places. I got Hawaii and Dominican Republic. Like, let's be honest, it did not.
It could have been worse.
Suck.
Now, you mentioned that you do a lot of stuff with events and charity events and stuff. So you do a lot of that, but like, what's that like, and kind of what's your schedule like? And then what are some of the events that you've done over the years that you enjoy more than others, maybe?
Oh my gosh, I'm so fortunate. I do a lot in Canada. That's where I'm from. I do a lot of children's charity events up there. I have the Stollery Children's Hospital, who they're near and dear to my heart. Their CEO is amazing, and that community, it just has a lot of money. And I raised over $37,000 on my whole last year doing a Beat the Pro for one golf tournament for that charity. That event raises over $1 million. I'm so honored to be a part of that. 20 tournaments that are so much fun. I did a tournament recently. It was like my 8th year with them. This is a crazy, true, honest to God, documented story. With this tournament, it's like a huge party. They're a food distribution company here in Arkansas, and they set up margarita machines, poker tables on my hole, loud music, craziness. Probably about 5 or 6 years ago at least now. It was ridiculous. They brought out the cameras, and they said the odds. They brought out like a mathematician or something like that from the university, and they said the odds in doing that were like 1 in 200 and something million. I like totally blew my Powerball chance on 3 golf swings.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so cool. What a cool memory.
A lot of,
because every event that you do, you can create more memories like that are just that carry on.
I love the people. I love the sell, and I love the people. Like, my number one thing is just being able to, the group 1 shows up and they have just as good a time as group, 18.
So people that host events, kind of like myself and Eat Sleep Golf with #TheOven17, how do people get you involved with that? Is there a place on your website that they can go, or how do you pick and choose what events you work with?
Go to my website, ChristinaLecuyer.com, LECUYER, ChristinaLecuyer.com, or at Golf Christina on all social media. You can find me, hit book now, an email will come to me or the agency that I work with, and you can get it scheduled. I pretty much say no to nothing if we can get it down on the schedule, unless I'm double booked. I love to work. I love people, and if I can make your event any better, it's a lot of fun. I'm at a hole, and they're like, this is awesome. This makes it so much different than a normal day. We'll do a Beat the Pro. We'll kind of BS back and forth, take a few photos, hang out, and it's so much different than your just typical scramble or your typical corporate event, or going to play 3 holes with each group or something along those lines. I also MC events. I was so fortunate. Nota Begay, I did his one in the fall, where your event is going to be played this fall, this summer as well. So it's an amazing golf course. I loved it down there, and the resort was so much fun. We had a great time. I love to gamble, so it worked out perfectly.
Yeah, so no kidding. You got the golf course, and they've even talked to the club about putting like some poker tables around 18 where they've got the waterfall, like for events and stuff. Like, how cool would that be?
Unreal.
So you wear a lot of Adidas stuff. Do they sponsor you, or do you just like their products?
Yeah, no, they do sponsor me. TaylorMade and Adidas have been so awesome to me over the last 3 years. Adidas, I was fortunate enough that they asked me to help, model the clothes for their lookbooks and stuff like that. So I'm super fortunate that they've kind of helped me out and been a part of it. And I love their product. I mean, I'd wear it even if they didn't pay me to do it.
Well, now Tiger's got a little finger on the pulse of TaylorMade, so there's even more of a reason to play TaylorMade equipment. So.
Well, think about it. And TaylorMade, they just signed Rory.
I don't like Rory, but I'm going to allow it because Tiger's involved. So, like, and of course, it's Rory, the guy that chucks clubs into lakes. Like, I mean, that's what that one instance is what I hold my total grudge against him on.
Oh my gosh.
So you recently were in Hawaii and played Princeville Mackay, a troon course, and you mentioned the name before we went live, Doug Sutter, the GM at Princeville Mackay. He's a buddy of mine. Sounds like you guys know each other. That's the only island of Hawaii I've not been to. So tell me about the island and then explain what the experience is like at Princeville.
Oh my gosh, I cannot believe you haven't been there. It's the best island, hands down.
Awesome.
I have been going there since I was 2 years old. I've been there probably 30 times. At least. My parents live right across from the 18th hole on the Mackay course. Doug and my brother plays professionally. Stephen Lecuyer plays on the Canadian Tour this year and hopefully on the PGA next. But he and Doug are super good friends. Stephen goes over to Hawaii with my parents for, you know, a few weeks every winter and practices out there. Doug is amazing. That course is one of the best. Princeville is probably the most beautiful place on the planet. I am also a fan of the Big Island. I love Kona. It's always hot, which I like. My parents tend to go to Hawaii in the winters, so when we tag along, it's the rainy season in Kauai. That's the one downfall, but it is absolutely the most stunning place you've ever been. It is beautiful, and Doug, you couldn't have a better guy working at the Prince course than Doug.
Well, I'll make sure Doug sees this. I haven't talked to him in a while, so that'll give you an excuse to say, hey, but that's really cool that you've been there and that you have been there 30 times.
I shot that golf board video there with Laird Hamilton on that course. They did the drone footage and stuff like that. You could not have picked a better place.
Awesome. We have golf boards at Tiburon, but I don't think we have quite the same views that you get at Princeville Mackay. Just thinking. So do you still keep in touch with all of the contestants on the Big Break?
I keep in touch with probably most. I keep in touch with Sarah and Blair. I do keep in touch a little bit with the girls from the past Big Break. Maybe Kim. We touch base via social media mostly, but someone who I'd actually text and talk to would probably be Blair and Sarah. And Blake from the men versus the women in Dominican Republic. He's the only guy that I really keep up with. But all the other girls, I try to follow them, see what they're up to. A couple of the girls are still trying to play a little. And obviously Blair's had a lot of success. Sarah's had some success on the Golf Channel. So it's nice to keep up with those girls. I've hired them a couple times to come out to events with me when I'm double booked or a client wants, double the trouble.
That's awesome. So yeah. It appears that fitness is a big part of your life and you work out a lot. So one, how important is fitness to your overall regimen? And then two, how many days a week do you work out?
I had a bit of an injury in the last 6 weeks. It's been like detrimental to my life. I typically work out 7 days a week. I am a workout junkie, not only for the physical, but for the mental as well. If I don't get a good sweat on during the day, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. But I love to work out. I'm like a cardio queen. I kill the Stairmaster. I think I've probably put a few motors in that bad boy. But I am trying to alleviate as much cardio and do a little bit more strength training to strengthen my core and my back and my upper body. But I love to work out. It's my thing. If I couldn't do it, I'd probably hurt someone.
That's aggressive. 7 a week. That's like I try to get 5 in, and sometimes it's only 4. Like this week will only be 4, but 7 is
30 minutes a day. That's awesome.
So you do a lot of events, right? And you live in Arkansas, so I can't imagine you do a lot of local events. But are you traveling to the majority of your events? And where is the furthest that you've traveled for an event?
I actually shot a video in London 2 years ago. I did. They asked me to host a travel video in London, so that's probably the furthest that I've gone. But I do a lot in Canada, like I said, But I do a ton in Arkansas. The last 3 Mondays have been in Arkansas. Mondays and Fridays. I work a lot of Mondays and Fridays. And then I have this Monday. I'm going to Las Vegas, and then the following Monday I'm in Arkansas as well, and then June, July, August is when I'm kind of in the cooler parts of the world, like in the Northeast and Canada. Down here in Texas, Arkansas, Florida, most people don't really like to play golf when it's 120. I personally love it.
I do too. Hotter the better.
The hotter the better. I am the only person that will not complain if it's 115, but I will moan when it's under 60. Like
60's cold. Don't even joke. Like that. No, I don't ever want to be cold again.
No, it's awful. When you grew up there, you're like, never again. I wore a beanie to the golf course. It was like 45 degrees, like two Mondays ago. I was like, whoa, can we postpone this? This is way too cold. But
that's funny. So what, out of all of the memories that you have with the Big Break and all of the different shows that you were on with that, what is your single favorite memory from that show?
The last show, making the last putt for the women to win, hands down. It was all in my court, and I still think about it every once in a while. Like, it was a long time ago. It was 6 years ago that had happened, but I knew that if I beat, and it would happen to be, that's funny because I'm closest to Blake. I ended up beating Blake. I remember every minute of that last hole, making the 5-6 foot putt for the women to win the whole show. That was definitely by far the best feeling, to be able to do that for myself and the team. That's a pretty good memory.
Yeah, I'd say. So you're active on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and the website and all that, and you have your Twitter handle on your golf bag. Like, that's next level cool, right? Like, that's awesome. What other networks do you like using? I mean, obviously I see you on Snapchat. Like, you're all over the place. What are your favorite networks?
I'm not really a Snapchat person. I have Snapchat only specifically because people tell me you need to have Snapchat, and I kind of like the filters a little bit, but I'm horrible at Snapchat.
I hate Snapchat. Like, I can't get it. I can't get it. I don't like, I work in this space and I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't even know, but apparently all the young people, that's what they do. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I getting that old? I don't even feel like I'm that old. Like, but probably my favorite by far is Instagram, and Twitter I think is good for news and something quite quick. I love Instagram though. I'll do that Insta story all day long. What if I'm doing an event or something like that? I am the girl who actually like posts real photos. I don't really use a lot of filters. I do like normal everyday stuff. And some people like that, some people don't. But yeah, no, Instagram's probably my favorite one.
You use like 3 filters, like my 3 favorite. Like, it's always the go-to. Like
I'm like, I probably am not going to take a picture of myself like beat down at 5 o'clock in the morning when I get up. But some people like use a filter and do that. Like, I don't mind. I'm sweaty and nasty, and I'll post that when I'm at the gym. It's me, and I think that's kind of part of it. You know, a girlfriend who runs a modeling agency, she was asking for photos the other day, and she specifically has to say, not filtered from Snapchat or from Instagram. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what is our world coming to? No wonder like everyone looks like that, so fantastic all the time. But I'm pretty real. You are what you get, and I am what you get. And if you like it, great. If you don't follow me. I'm really into gratitude. I'm really into real. I just like to connect with people, like the human connection, and faith, and belief and gratitude, daily gratitude. I'm huge on daily gratitude.
I dig that. Yeah. Now, let's put the Big Break to the side. Your golfing career, Big Break out of the conversation. What's your most memorable golf experience that you've had?
Gosh, that's a great question. Last summer was pretty fun. I literally was like 5 under after like a few holes. It was just kind of all on it. I felt like last year, I've never really been a great ball striker. That's kind of what held me back. I always worked harder than most people on my short game when I was trying to play, because that's what I could get good at. But last summer, it felt like I was hitting the ball pretty solid. So I enjoyed that a lot. Obviously going to, actually making it through to final stage of Q School, my very first try, right out of college, that was pretty huge. I never really expected it. I started golf so late in life. I started when I was like 18. I grew up around it, but I went from basically breaking 190 and 80 all in the same summer to the next summer, winning 3 golf tournaments in my home city, to getting a scholarship at Central Arkansas, where I didn't even know where it was on the map. I was a 2-time All-American. I won 5 times in college. So it went pretty fast for me. I worked really hard at it. I think that was obviously the key. I was never going to be the best, but I've always, my gosh, most people don't work. I don't think most people work as hard as I do, and I'm just always grinding it out. Like, I just try to find a way, and that's kind of what it was. But yeah, going to Q school, going to final stage a few times, that was good. Winning in college, that was always fun. Yeah, winning's always fun.
Yeah, no kidding. And you said grinding. I love that word. 'Cause, like, every time somebody's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Good. You busy?" "Yeah, grinding." Like, I'm always grinding. Like, it's always like you've got 1,000,001 things going on, and I could always add another one. Like, I got to the point about a year and a half ago where I was like, I got too many. I had literally had to settle down and separate some of the things that I had going on because I had so many things moving. Now I live in Naples, where it's like people come here to retire, so it's like traffic doesn't exist except for in season when there's just 1,000 people going everywhere I'm going. So I didn't tell you before we went live this was going to fly by. We only have time for a couple more before we jump to the back nine. But you co-hosted the Swing Clinic with Jimmy Hanlin. Tell me about that. Like, that sounds pretty cool.
It's super fun. It's on the Fox Sports Net. It hits like, a couple 100 million homes. Natalie Gulbis is now kind of doing it full time with him. Nat's kind of transitioning from playing to on the television side of things. So I kind of fill in this year whenever she can't do it, which I'm still super happy about. But yeah, Jamie and I did that show together for 2 seasons. A lot of fun. We basically just went to different resorts around the country and did some swing tips. Jimmy's the instructor for it, and just basically showcased the resort as well as giving the viewers at home a few tips. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully other opportunities like that come my way.
That's cool. So your last question before we jump to the back nine is, how was the big break helped your career to where you're at now with events? Like, do people call you and contact you because of the big break, or kind of like, what have you seen that you can track back to having been on that show that's helped your career?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, people still talk about it. And, my very first show it aired in 2008. That's 9 years ago. That's a long time. But people still, that show had so many viewers. It's too bad. They did, I don't even know, Big Break 20 maybe. I was on a lot of them. And that crew that produced that for so many years was so amazing. And it was so sad when it was all let go. But yeah, people love the Big Break. They still want to talk about it. I've got, I don't know if you can see behind me, but this is my office, and there's a wall of all of our winnings from Big Break, Canapoli and Big Break Dominican Republic, all framed up on the wall. It was a lot of fun. It was the experience was amazing, and I'm so fortunate. Like, only 12 people per episode, and like they had 12,000 people auditioning for the show, and I got chosen twice. Hey, I'm thankful.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Well, hey, I can't thank you enough for coming on the show. I know you got a hockey game to watch here real quick, but we've got this thing called the back nine. This is 9 fun random questions. So you ready for your back nine?
I'm ready.
You have to pick golf or hockey. You can't have both. Which do you choose?
Golf.
Ooh, I did not expect you to say that. I like that.
Golf.
What's your favorite golf movie?
Tin Cup.
So it's a pretty, I should ask not have you had an ace. How many aces have you had? That should be a better question.
9.
That's disgusting. That's 9.
I've had 2 playing real golf. My very first one came in college when I was playing real golf, like an actual round of golf. But 7 of them have come in events where I'm doing like a Beat the Pro contest and stuff like that. People are like, oh, that's like cheating. I'm like, you stand up on the thing, I'll give you 36 balls and see if you can make hole-in-one from 150 to 170. It's not that easy.
No,
but
golf is hard.
the odds are going up for me. The odds are going up that I hit the same
9.
shot.
Do me a favor. Give me 1. I don't have any, so I'd love just 1. Coffee or tea?
Oh my gosh. Coffee is by far my favorite. However, right now I'm on a no caffeine kick for a little while for health stuff, but I am a diehard on coffee.
Okay, I think that. What golf ball are you currently playing?
The TaylorMade.
I figured. I have to be honest, I've played the Pro V1 forever, and I got a sleeve of the Project A, and I know that's an older golf ball, but I love it. Like, I feel like it feels the same, and it spins almost the same. So I might be putting that in my bag.
It's unbelievable ball.
So your favorite PGA Tour major?
Oh, the Masters, hands down. Do you not see my wall? The Masters flag everywhere. Come on, the Masters. That's not even a question. Next.
What TV show are you currently binge watching on Netflix?
Oh my gosh. I don't have Netflix.
What?
What? Stop the presses. I know. I hardly watch television. I watch sports. I watch the Food Network. And I'm pretty sure that's. Oh no, that one show, This Is Us, on NBC. I did watch last season, but honestly, if it's not sports and it's not Food Network or like Oprah, Super Soul Sunday, I'm out. Like, I don't watch television. I'm too busy.
My goodness. No caffeine and no TV. Like, and I feel like, so that's strike. Now, the caffeine thing I can't get mad about, because I quit drinking coffee about a month ago, and I was doctor's orders, so I can't hold that against you. But the Netflix thing, like, I binge anything I can. But the next question, and I'm very cautious to even continue asking this, but I'm not going to stop until the day he retires. Do you think Tiger breaks Jack's record? Why or why not?
Absolutely not. It breaks my soul. Like, I'm not the biggest Tiger fan in the whole entire world like you are. I thought Tiger was amazing for golf. I wish him nothing but success, and I feel sad for him at the moment. I mean, the amount of surgeries that he has, and I say this like not really as a joke. I just hope he can walk within the next 15 years, let alone play golf. And, I would love for him to get out and play good golf again. I would love to see him on the senior tour and win an event out there, but I'll be honest with you, he's not playing the PGA Tour anymore.
I don't think he has any interest in the Champions Tour. Like, that's not even in his. Now, let me put a caveat to that. If he comes back healthy and he can play 7 more years healthy, do you think that changes your answer a little bit?
Yeah, if he's healthy, but it's not going to happen. I've had back issues lately, and like, I know that like it's mind blowing, and all I have is a herniated disc. Not all, but like what he's had, oh my gosh. I just hope he's able to walk for his kids.
So then why doesn't he hang it up? Like, you would think that if he's reached that point, there's got to be people to, like, why do the whole thing with TaylorMade and have another surgery and keep us, like, I mean, he can't be making that much money getting to the point that just hang it up, like, retire and go do.
You don't think that he can be making that much money?
I mean, he's making money, but I don't know. I'm not going to give up hope until he tells me that he is done.
Sadly, I believe that you'll be hearing that sooner than later.
Oh. Well, I still like you, so I'm going to ask you one more question. Is what's next? I mean, you're a busy person, so there's got to be something else coming up. I mean, unless it's like big break, take 3. Like, I mean, what's next for you and your doings?
You know what? I love being with people. I think I'd really love to do more of the hosting events and be more with the people. I love golf. It's a great tool for me, but my passion is the sale of, working with the charities, talking to the people, making people have a great day. It's amazing that, like, me hanging out on a hole, even if I hit it like crap and have to hit another one, people love it. They have a great time and they enjoy their day. And if I can make someone enjoy their day a little bit more, I mean, that's really what the purpose of life is. It doesn't matter whether, you can hit a ball like dead straight and knock it 3 feet every time, or, look like a supermodel every single day. But if you can make a person feel like they've had a great day, to me, that's everything. And that's what I'm trying to, I'm getting older and I'm trying to figure some things out. And I think that that's kind of like the purpose, right? We're all here to just kind of like be good to one another. I like Ellen says that, be good to one another, but it's kind of true,
That's awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much for coming on the show. This was fantastic. I knew that we were going to talk a little bit about the big break, but I didn't know we were going to talk about all the other things that you have going on. And I got to say, I'm a little surprised that you didn't say hockey over golf, but I'm glad that you said golf over hockey.
I love hockey. I love the Oilers. Where I'm from, the history of it all, but no, absolutely not. Golf is my number one. NFL football, that's a close second. If you would have said that, I would have had to take some more time. I love NFL football.
We didn't even talk about that. We're out of time. We don't have time to talk about that. And you've got a hockey game to watch.
Pardon?
I said you had a hockey game to watch. We don't have time to talk about football. Well, hey, thank you again for coming on the show. This is going to get shared to Facebook and Twitter and Google Plus and the golf community all over the place. It might even show up in a podcast in the near future. More details on that over the next few weeks. But as always on the hashtag Wednesday Match Plays, you have to remember to eat, sleep,